Right, we're going to get started here in a minute. I am excited about tonight because I've been playing with AI all week and got some really neat stuff to show you guys. Hey, Amy, so glad to see you joined us. And I know Alyssa's been on for a few minutes. Meg just joined as well.
Hello.
So I kind of waited for everybody to get here to start the recording, and now we're officially starting. I know some of you guys are a little tight on time. I know that, let's see who else was. Eli said she couldn't join us tonight, so I think it's just us because nobody else knows about this nice big, nice group of secrets since they don't let me send a message to everyone. I post in the chat, but nobody's getting chat notifications unless they're on chat looking. So nobody knows.
What?
You
Oh,
know how it is. People will chat in
in
the
Discord.
Discord, and unless you're looking at chat, you don't see that. It doesn't notify you.
It
And
used to. It
yeah, I
used
think
to
they should.
like you'd get a little red or little saying like that there was stuff in there.
Yeah, I think the bottom line is that they had so many people chatting that they just wanted to close it up and not have it so busy. And I was somebody who would always mark everyone to let them know about my calls and the theme for the night. And whenever I did that, I always had new people, but not anymore. So, oh well, we'll just go with our crew. It's good. And then if anybody catches the recordings, maybe they'll enjoy that. But I am so happy, Alyssa, you mentioned about Poe when Dan Pine shared it on the call. And oh wow, it is the best kept secret. I thought we'd start by talking about it a little bit. I did not watch Dan's call yet. I just jumped into Poe to like see what's all this talk about. You gave me a video on it too, and I was just like blown away. I'm so happy that you got that nugget from Dan. Kudos to Dan for sharing that on one of his calls. And I might start joining his calls on Wednesdays because he is a knowledge bank, basically an encyclopedia. Whenever any topic, I always enjoyed it. He did the Friday calls back when Adam was doing those. So really good. Thank you so much, Alyssa. Um, I thought, maybe we'll start real quick with you guys saying what you've done this week, or if you got to anything. If you haven't, that's fine too. Been playing with whatever. Just kind of update like is everybody? I could well, no, I'll go last because if I get started, I might not shut up. So let's yeah, why don't you guys just share what you've been up to?
Okay, I can start. I
Cool.
if that's okay, I'll start.
Yeah, perfect.
Not as much as I'd like, unfortunately. I did get some of the coaching calls in, and I with Springs hosting, I was waiting for my domain to be transferred. Nothing was happening. So I messaged, and I guess apparently the transfer had failed. And
Oh,
then, so that's okay. I got it all figured out, and my domain just showed up today. So
oh,
I
good.
kind of was chasing that. Then just still working on my landing page. I got a one-on-one with Neil tomorrow just to deal with some stuff between. I'm a little confused now that we're jumping from the cutting edge to the consumer watchdog.
Yeah.
I'm just the now I'm like, okay, the video isn't, paint by number, and I'm like, I don't quite get like the custom values and all, and like I'm like, do those change now? Because now you're not in cutting
Oh,
edge.
good question.
So I'm just gonna meet up with Neil and get him to just make sure the whole back end is good. I'm still working on finishing up the write-up for my bridge page. I gathered more than enough videos to Easy Gift or for Gifster, whichever one I end up going with to chop them up. And that's about where I'm at.
Sounds like you made some good progress. The technical part is like least of my concerns right now, although I'm going to need probably some help with that too.
Yeah.
Especially when you change sites. I don't know how that affects DIY tracks. I kind of was building in the other platform, but then I'm like, oh, these pages are formatted so much nicer. Now I'm not using any of the text. I think
Yeah.
we need to really modify that. And some of the text I'm not sure was I don't know if they did the research on the products because I keep seeing Harvard show up. Whenever the free ad copy is used, it's running Harvard on every product, it seems like. So I don't. I don't trust the content on those bridge pages, and it's always recommended you don't you can copy the format, but don't copy what is said. You know, you
Mhm.
really want to stand out and be unique. You can't do that if you're going to just go with whatever they give you. So, that being said, to anyone who might possibly be watching this recording, that's our advice, and I think you would get that from any coach at Sherrington as well. Just use it as a format to be able to follow, and then go from there. So, in your own iteration of the page. Something
May
I talked to Alyssa about. Oh, did you want to share something?
yeah, Christy, I got a question. When did they switch over to Watchdog as the site? When did that happen?
It was last week, right before, I believe, before Adam's call on Thursday, and it was announced in the Q&A calls during the week. They didn't have a major
Okay.
announcement anywhere, other than the Q&A calls, and I, of course, was following the general chat, and that's how I kind of kept up on it and went over there. And the
Okay, guess I'll have to start all over again.
well, it depends. Have you done DIY tracks? Because I think you said you weren't doing ClickBank.
Well, no, I'm not doing ClickBank. Is that what it's set up for? Is all ClickBank products?
Well, if you're doing any tracking through their software, it would be
Hmm.
because you're using Atom Source and then you're bringing a bridge page to the offer. In the offer with ClickBank is actually integrated into Atom's tracking with DIY tracks so
Okay.
that we get all our data. So I know you were talking about using Canadian or some other platform of products, and that might be something that I know Atom's bringing like 8 affiliate networks together to come in and integrate them with his tracking. And there might be a product on one of those that
Okay.
you prefer.
Okay. Yeah.
Because without that tracking, I don't know how you're going to check your metrics to really see what's converting or what's
That's if you're advertising.
right. If
That's
you're
what the
not,
DIY.
if you're doing organic, it doesn't matter about
Yeah,
tracking.
that's why I'm like, yeah, I'm not going there with the software because I got no ad spend. So anyway, noted Watchdog site, which I originally started on that, then went over to the next one because they said use this, and now they're saying no, go back and use Watchdog. And
So here's what happened with that. You remember when we were on Live Intent and they became very strict about health products, and Watchdog is all about health products and
yeah,
nutrition. And so with that,
that's why I grabbed that one.
that's
So
yeah, that's why they had to switch it out though, because
okay,
it was causing problems with the Live Intent. It had to be a gadget oriented. So that's what Cutting Edge is. It's a gadget oriented platform. Now that we're back to health products, voila, we get to go back to Watchdog and those. Just if you look at the logo and just a lot of the the way it's written, if someone goes to the base root of the site, it's going to show articles on health and it just kind of
yeah.
fits the niche. So for
So
the new direction we're going, or going back to the direction we wanted at the beginning, was more profitable to do health products. Definitely Watchdog is going to be the best. You'll look at those pages and I'm just so impressed because they have
I'll look at
little
them.
breakouts. They've got
Okay.
everything just looks sharper, it looks more professional. And the other site, we were kind of like on our own to try to format it. I wasn't impressed with it. The
Okay,
theme
that's good to
itself
know.
didn't run
I
as
made a
well.
note.
Yeah,
Sorry to cut you off, but I just wanted to ask, when did that change? Because
it was just new. Yeah.
okay.
And to get it working, if you might recall, because we had a new rollout of Flexi, we have now our own domains that go per website. So I had to create a new domain on this system, which is great because then I could jump between and migrate my stuff over by copy paste into the new platform. That's what I did. But as far as the integration, that's I'm probably going to call a VA. So for the DIY tracks. I haven't gotten that far because I'm doing something with my page. I'm trying to make it perform better. And one of the things that performs on my organic side is a video introduction to my product.
Yeah.
And the way that they're using VSLs, it's on ClickBank or your platform, whatever you're going to be promoting. If you don't have a VSL, what Adam is having us do is take like a GIF that's animated and have a play button put on it. And he has it featured on that bridge page so that it looks like you could just click that button and watch a video. Now that's how a lot of pages are designed. The problem is, if you remember the last time you've been to something like that, you push a play button and it plays a video. This one does not. It jumps right to the VSL. Well, what's the whole purpose of your page with all this text if a person's being patched right to the VSL? I think this is a major fundamental reason why the opt-ins are so, or the click through and the actual buying traffic off of that page is not performing as well, because they're just going right to that image thinking they're going to watch a video and they could read the text on the page. They're not getting a chance to read the text. So all of that work you do for your avatar is basically going nowhere. So I'm changing that up. I'm moving that section of that block, which is tied to tracking. It's tied into DIY tracks. So I don't want to remove it. What I do is I just move the block down on the page by adding additional box with a little, I can show you this if you need to, but it's a little plus sign right below each of those items on the page. And I push it down towards middle of the page. And then I bring my GIF into that. That will still go right to the VSL, but now I'm adding my own block with an introduction video. And I'm playing with some AI. I'm doing a little bit of AI with, and also some scripting. I've been studying how to do a converting video and what's important in that. And I'm taking I basically built a framework this week and I tested it. It was working beautifully last night. So I think it would work for you guys too. And I put a framework on my site that you guys can grab the text of the framework and tell ChatGPT, or if you're in Poe, it's upgraded ChatGPT. So, but it's the same price and gives you images. It gives you so much more. So that's why I'm.
Okay, good to know, because I upgraded my chat and now I'm going to check out Poe.
Yeah, Poe gives you Chat 4 plus Gemini, Claude, and
Okay.
lots more options. So
For VSLs, what are you doing? What software do you use for your VSLs?
So I'm using NVIDIA AI, but there's another one called Syllabi AI. Both of those you have to buy separate. So you could choose which one you want. The Syllabi gives you an avatar, but it's animated, and you can also go real life. I already paid for NVIDIA AI. NVIDIA AI can use a generated animated version of things if you want, or it sources real stock photos. I like the real authentic feel. So I'm going, and I'd already paid for NVIDIA for the
Yeah.
year. So I didn't want to have to buy again by doing Syllabi, but if you haven't bought anything, check them both out. Syllabi.
Well, I have in video, but one thing that it doesn't do, because I asked them, I just want a classic VSL,
Yeah.
white background, this script, and it literally would rewrite the script. And I was
Yeah, I
like,
know. I'm
what the
trying that
heck?
too, and I have some trouble with that too.
So
But
just so you know, there is a software, it's called easyvsl.com.
okay, I'll look at
And it's very affordable and it does exactly what you need. You can put in backgrounds if you want, audio. I like classic white background with just letters and audio, somebody speaking. It's really good. I've used it for years. I stopped using in video because they couldn't do that. And it's really a simple function.
Yeah.
And I think they kind of dropped the ball on that one.
Well, it kind of depends on what your purpose is. I like the real stock images, but I'm also using them to spruce up and get engagement on my opt-in. So
Yeah.
I'm tying it with, and then I want them to go and eventually buy my programs. So there's going to be a section of it. I'm using NVIDIA really just to give me some stock footage
Yeah.
that I'm going to re-narrate. I'm going to show up on camera and then I'm going to go to stock footage. And some of the stuff I have, my own products or my own images, and some of it I'm just going to need NVIDIA to really to brighten it up. And I want it short. So for texting and getting a script out, I'm not as concerned that it rewrites it because I have my own script I'm going to read and I'm going to basically record with my cell phone and make my own
Okay,
version.
cool.
And
Yeah.
then only fill in where I want to.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
that's my
It's the way
method.
to go. It's VSLs are the way to go.
And I'm using this with a ClickBank product that I'm going to then lead right into my products where I show up on camera. So being able to show up on camera in the beginning is going to help tie my audience to my
Yeah.
product a little bit better. So
Cool.
I
Very
think
good.
it'll work. But these are great options. I'm actually happy about the VSL just to know that's there. The other factor is when it goes to the product, if the product page has a VSL that's black and white and they just watched the VSL, I'm not sure if that's going to create a
Yeah,
little disconnect.
I
So
see what you're saying. Yeah.
so I kind of like the NVIDIA pulling stock images and making a very short 2 minute. Like I want it really short and tight,
Good
but
point.
yet it gives them a chance to listen, to watch, but they could scroll on the page to all the other stuff that I'm telling them about in my form to get them to opt in. So I put my GIF image, like Adam's hero image, I'm putting that portion right below my form and I'm writing in the text why they would want to get my PDF. And so they'll opt in for the PDF. It automatically delivers to the email so they don't go off the page to sign up. It's literally on the page. They'll put it in, they'll say, thank you. You'll get your PDF in the next 12 hours. So that way they're not going right away to their email, just checking it in the next 12 hours. And meanwhile, watch this video below this form or whatever. I write it up. I'm just paraphrasing. I actually worded it better on the page, but
Yeah, I get it.
I
You
tie
kind of
it
really do
together
have to
so
handhold them through the whole,
you really
tell them,
do.
tell them what to do next. It's so important because otherwise they're like, okay, now what?
Now when I click, yeah. So the whole idea is starting with that video to get them to what the next on this page. I'm going to be giving you something that's going to be a complimentary guide to this product that we're going to be telling you about. And the reason you might want to use this is because of whatever the pain point is that we're going to be solving. This is going to help you solve it. So you got to think through what's the pain points. It's going to be just like you would frame for any offer. You want to think of a singular avatar. So I use it the 1-1-1 rule, one person. We're not going for the whole world. We want if your avatar doesn't hear themselves in your story, they're not listening.
Yeah,
We want to really tighten this up. The offer is going to be broad because it's assuming that you've already tightened your audience to whatever it is that they're interested in. They come to the offer, so they're going to make that offer so broad to so many different people that again, I think that's another problem with the little GIF image going right to the offer. It's not framed to the audience. And so, yeah,
yeah.
they might have an avatar story, but it may not fit as well. It's not as closely aligned as you can bring them in with a banner to a specific person who is specifically going to want that. And they're going to want your PDF because you're going to
Yeah.
tie the PDF with the offer. So that's what I'm doing. That's my method. Then I have one more thing I'm doing. So I have the one person, then I have my one lead magnet opt-in that's really tied to that one person and why they would want that to be want to use that in conjunction with the offer. The third point is I'm getting reviews. I'm going on Amazon, you can't really screenshot the reviews. Amazon's super picky. But what you can do is if you can find that product or something very similar that has the same components, and you can find it on YouTube where people talk about their experiences with that product, then you could screenshot those reviews because they're legit and put those at the bottom of your page. That's another thing that is not being talked about in the Sherrington
Yeah.
group pages, or I don't think coaches are teaching that either. But reviews are huge and people buying into things. You need that social proof. So that's something I'm adding to my pages. So I have my story, my avatar is very tight. I start with it with my video, a little bit about a story that I've tied to that to my video. And if it's not going to be me and my product, I might use NVIDIA's imaging just because, it may not be like if I'm doing a diabetes product, it doesn't apply to me. So I'm not going to want to show up on camera. But my voice, I could still narrate exactly what I wanted to say and
Yeah.
still use the images. So that's kind of
Cool.
my method in all of this. Break it out,
Cool.
put that opt-in form, and then have my reviews on the bottom. And so my page is looking good. I haven't finished the video because I've been playing with these tools. But I'm really happy with that.
Did
And
you want to share your page or are you going to wait till it's done?
well, I could share my page because I've done a lot of work since last week. I don't want people copying my text, but then again, my offer isn't really a health product, so probably nobody's gonna
You
be.
can quickly scroll through it. I'm just
Yeah,
trying to see
yeah.
your creative mind, how it works.
You know what I'm gonna do? I think you're gonna like it too. Um,
Hi, Meg. Is it almost time to go to sleep? Are you going bedtime?
You know, uh, I'm trying to get adjusted to the medication and it's
Oh,
like, not fun.
That is not fun. Absolutely.
Diabetes is poo-poo caca.
Well, you can tell your story with diabetes on a diabetes product.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh my God. So yeah.
Okay, let me get into this. I don't mind you guys talking.
Were
Uh,
you just diagnosed with diabetes?
Yeah. Was it 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago? Yeah, 3 weeks ago.
I knew you were getting tested that long ago. I thought it was like
Yeah. So it's 2 weeks now. I'm on my
oh,
second week of adjusting to medication, but it makes you very like
Yeah,
groggy or something.
I've flagged in that category because in a pre-diabetic stage because my B12 is very deficient and I'm not absorbing B12. So yeah, I can relate. I'm waiting. I'm not waiting on doctors. I am just doing what I can naturally and hope like hell this just goes away.
oh man. I have a friend who his son went into the health niche and is actually curing people of some major thing. I can't say curing. Okay, that would be a medical problem, a claim, but he's had really good success with detoxing, major detox.
Yes.
He does a lot of the reasons our cells stop being able to absorb is the toxins that our body absorbs over time.
100%. Yeah.
Okay.
Amy, research the anchor vitamin for vitamin B because this is something like the supplement companies don't tell you and such, but every supplement, every vitamin, every mineral has a partner. And if you don't take that, so for example, vitamin D, if you
Yeah.
don't take it with vitamin K, you're just gonna poop it or
Yep,
poop it
you're
out.
right. So that's a very good point. Let's say so B12, you also need to take B6.
Yeah. Yeah, like
Yeah,
I take a complex, like it's like
yeah, okay.
five
No,
different
I made
types
a
of
little
vitamin
note.
B. Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right on that.
Yeah.
There's
You're in Toronto. Actually in Canada. Sorry guys, 2 seconds.
yeah.
NACA. Look up NACA and yeah,
Love NACA products.
they have a vitamin B complex that
Yeah.
help.
In fact, their head office is relocating to South Surrey where I am.
Okay. Nice.
Great supplement company.
Yeah.
I
Carry
don't
on. Sorry, Christy.
No, it's good. I've been pulling my page up, and for some reason, this thing is being a real pill. I don't know what happened to it. I'm trying to fix it. It should have been zero. It's
Should do
something in
some
their
editing.
format. Well, yeah, I was like, I'm trying to edit. Like,
Meg,
Sorry guys, I'm
how's it
using
going with
software.
your coaching program?
Well, the thing that was crazy is the fact that Alyssa, like started she showed some YouTube and it went down the wormhole of um, you know what? I don't think I really want to work with young generation people because um my friends' kids they love me. So they think that, I'm the cure-all to end all. And I told them, well, I got diabetes. And they're like, what? It's like,
I'm fixing it.
yeah, don't sit on your butt for 12 hours. You gotta move.
Yeah. Do you know what sort of how that maybe happened that you became predisposed to diabetes? Is this a genetic thing or chronic stress,
My
perhaps?
whole family's like, how'd that happen? Because
Chronic stress, no doubt.
so it's yeah, so I was under intensive supervision when I was at the end of my teaching position, and I was having lots of migraines and all that kind of stuff. This is
Oh,
all like 15 years ago. And it got to the point where I just had to walk away from teaching. And then I went to corporate.
wow.
So the thing was that, since I was able to tolerate, like the speed of how much information that you have to process, the flavor industry was perfect for me because, there's all these flavors coming out and then making sure that it's like, going to be approved by FDA and
Yep.
TTB and all the companies out there. So I was like one of those people who could like spot the wrong one and say right back to the flavorist, listen, you got to switch it out because you can't sell it like this. So yeah.
Wow.
And then finally AI was able to take over what I was able to do. So they let me go like 2 weeks before Christmas last year.
Oh,
And I
Wow.
think that sort of kind of went and
yeah.
then I went full force on trying to get all this program going. So I have a good program all set to go. It's just the computer stuff is a whole different.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not only the computer stuff,
So thank God for Christy.
it's the marketing stuff. You could
Yeah.
have great products, great programs without the marketing.
You're doomed.
Yeah.
It's a no-go zone.
So yeah, I've
So
been really studying that. And I mentioned, Meg, I sent you that link over to Teachable. It's a place where you can put actual your videos and your courses in a series, and they can log in. I believe you can get it paid that way, so you can link right into it. And I still think the monthly system with ConvertKit and individual products is great, but they don't have a good platform for courses. So I've been researching that for something that's affordable. I'm in another platform that I really like, but it starts at $100 a month. And so when you're just trying to get on the ground, it's really hard. I'm not sure if I can stay on it or not. We'll see how my stuff sells. If it doesn't sell, I'm going to go back to doing something like Teachable. I had my own platform. I still do. But it's a little more awkward when you just try to build with a membership site on your site. It doesn't lay out like a nice course, nice and clean. It's a little harder to do. So I looked at Teachable. They have a free plan, lots of good reviews on it. You can link right to it. So I'm thinking, and I think it has a sales page. So you can have something that actually looks like a sales page when you get your good content, which I was building for your little kids product, but I think like last week we did that. I think your research on the avatar kind of made that a no-go because they're not going to pay anything. They're all entitled. So,
well, the thing was like, the young population that I do know, they're all the people that I worked with or whatever. So I sort of kind of know them. But then if you think about, you know, how my friends talk about their students and this and that from, different, you just go, oh, it's
yeah.
like yeah, you just go, whoa. Well, and if I really think about it, when I first came back from the international teaching and working with embassy kids and then came to the United States, I was like, oh my gosh, no manners. Like, I got to teach them how to say please and thank you.
Uh-huh.
Meg, what is your coaching program about?
It's really about how to recover from a major injury kind of thing. So a lot of it's worked with veterans that came back home with injuries or people who've been through severe accidents and trying to recover from that. So it's changing your mindset so that you're able to take in all the information and then be able to work with, your PT and your doctors and adding some holistic practices and breathing and everything. So it's all about empowering people so that they're starting to make decisions on themselves instead of expecting the information to be handed right to them kind of thing.
Okay.
So that's the whole program. And I've been doing that with veterans for 20 years.
So, in a nutshell, is it PTSD that you're helping them sort of get like the reason I'm asking just because if you just told me the pitch and I'm just like, okay, um, okay. Like is it, I'm just trying to so I do understand somebody's had an accident, trauma, a physical accident. Is it a physical thing? Or is it,
Yeah, it's trauma,
okay,
like a physical trauma. And being, like for me, it was being told like I won't walk. So I hurt my spine and I was told that, you're going to be a paraplegic. And I was like, no, I'm not. And they're like, well, this is your x-ray. This is your this is your that, this is, we can't fix this. And I was like, well, I'm going to fix it. So,
okay. I'd
so
be
I think,
interested to see the marketing piece because it's always good I'm glad Christy asked in the beginning because I wanted to ask you, Meg, about your program. The elevator pitch, I still wouldn't, it's not direct enough, and I'm just saying that. I do understand what you're doing, so to speak, but there needs to be something that is absolutely will capture all of that.
It's that
So
refinement.
when I listened to you and then you said I work with a lot of veterans, and then you shared your story, your why, because your why is exactly why you did now you're doing this coaching program.
mhm.
It's so I just thought so it's against the odds. You're like screw that. I'm gonna, whether you beat cancer or blah, 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 you kind of have to spin it in that way to shift you said, well, we try to help them change the mindset. Well, first of all, they're completely devastated that they have this debilitating whatever, whatever. So it's finding that angle to get in with what you do. Christy's nodding, going, yeah. Only I've done a lot of coaching programs, and if you are not like here, I'll tell you one coaching program, and whether I go back to it, it was about recovery from addiction. And I had a lot more women on my calls, and I did a VSL. I shared my story. I shared my entire story. And this was exactly what the program was. This is not AA. Okay. It's about, I'm here. I have a coaching program. It's more of a wellness 12-step program. And because a lot of people have that stigma around, oh, you're an alcoholic. Oh, you're a drug addict. Blah, blah. And then they put you in that box as you're like this problem. So I was able to convert, and now I'm talking about sales. It was a fairly high price program because I didn't see it as a 12-week program. I see things very differently. So when I talked about recovery, it was actually a 12-month, it was a year program.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe anyone is going to be, you're not going to be able to coach somebody through a 12-week or 16-week. Go have at it. Good luck. It is an ongoing process. So I just I wanted to ask you, Meg, just because I kind of had an idea of what you were doing. And if there's a struggle in the marketing, we're just here talking about, hey, where are we at? What did we do this week? And so I wanted to ask you about your business. And if you ever want to get on a Zoom call, Meg, I can certainly help you and just give you, it's good to get feedback because it'd be like, okay, I still don't know what you do. I still don't know how you help. How would you help me? I have da 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 da. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, so if yes, there's a lot of people that have this trauma, whether it's emotional, that does turn into a physical issue. And that could be what's happening with you and the diabetes diagnosis, right? From physical, it will always go to mental, always, right? We know that we're human beings. But if you want, I'd be open to a Zoom call because I think that that could be a very, very good niche because there are so many people that need more. Right. And here's another example. I ended up in the hospital with ulcerative colitis. I don't believe that I would have been in the state that I'm in today if I had not advocated for myself, self-care. I brought in all my teams. Yes, there were doctors, but I also had health practitioners, and I I knew I didn't know what I needed until I actually talked to them. And it was like this reciprocation back and forth because a lot people that are going through trauma, here's what we need. We need,
Somebody to listen.
yeah, we need a tough love coach too, right? It's pushing them and making them accountable. And you know this, I know, but it might be that maybe just kind of wrap your head around. Because when you're in that physical or emotional trauma, you don't know your state of mind is like and you just going down that dark hole, like, right? You just went black, right?
It's a
Like,
step-by-step path because you can't think and really analyze everything.
yeah,
You're so overwhelmed with the pain.
yeah, yeah. But I think you're onto
Meg,
something really great.
Meg, your pitch was just said by Christy.
What did Christy just say? I didn't hear it.
If
I
you're a woman, if you've had a traumatic injury and your mind is headed to that dark space or that black hole, this is your step-by-step way to help you out of it.
Boom.
got to
Yeah.
keep it real simple. I want to
Yeah.
show
Yes.
you the framework I built this week. And you were, Amy, it was fun to watch you talk because you're just hitting all the points. So if
Yeah.
you guys want to see it, I'm going to show it to you now.
Cool.
Because it fits right in. Something that Meg and I had done a long time ago, and maybe I like her to go back to her script because we did use chat to come up with a sales script, and I'd like to review it and then also see how we can add in the product promise framework. You're also going to want to use what you've already developed and maybe modify it, but we took your story and we had chat work it through in a sales format. But this is a new thing that I've been actually studying this week. I'm actually in training. It's 3 classes, and I took one of the 3. It'll be the next one will be tomorrow, but it's specifically on conversion messaging. How do you get your ads to perform? And it's really typing in, first of all, to the emotions that that person is facing in their pain. And if you've got your own story, that's where you share your story at the beginning to catch their attention. If you don't have a story personally, you would then maybe share some other situation, some other story. But the whole idea is you want that person who has that one particular pain point to be drawn to your product because when you share your struggle with that problem, it's going to resonate with, oh, they had that problem too. They must know how to help me through that.
Yeah.
And so you're actually, by being vulnerable and sharing your story and the pain that you went through, you are actually creating trust in the potential client. So let's do a quick share, and I'm going to show you my framework so you guys can get it off my site to use that kind of as you're crafting your message story. And this is under the marketing section. I'm playing with a lot of stuff right now. I did one last night. I'm going to probably tighten up a little bit, but this one's a framework for crafting powerful story ads for your products. This is the idea here is to come up with a script that you can either narrate or use NVIDIA to pull some imaging. And I'm going to suggest, like, for whatever health products you do, maybe you take the VSL script and try to nail down what are the problems they're facing. You can use the free ad copy that Adam gives that website to kind of pull out those pain points. And just try as much as you can to tell chat what your program is. And Meg, for you, I would also give it a list of each of the topics, the major sections of your program. So you start with chat having an idea what you're offering in terms of the product, the pain points, what you're delivering, the benefits. Remember that product promise book or framework I gave you, I'm probably going to modify it by adding more things to it because I found that chat provided a better script when I gave it not just the benefits, but also the modules, the names of the modules, the breakdown, and I gave it kind of the process of healing. So that, and then also another thing I'm going to probably add to it are the objections that people would have to my program. So anyway, I'm going to redevelop that to give us a little bit more of a prompting document for chat. But this framework just worked beautifully the other night because I took it into my gardening hydroponics and I asked it to pull out, I had already asked it to give me the benefits of that program and what were the pain points. So I already had that. And then I gave it to chat with this framework and my modules and each things that I had built. And I asked chat to give me a script based on this framework. The first part is to come up with a hook, attention grabbing opener. For Meg, and this is one here. It says most people think I took this off of a marketing ad that they were selling a program for marketing messaging or marketing, how to get your ads to convert. And I'm studying a ton of this stuff, so I'm getting a ton of these ads. But I thought it's great because I can give it a sample of that and then say, okay, Chad, I want to do something just like this, but for my program. So I basically gave it this framework with my program details, and I asked it to come up with this format, and it was just amazing. The example that it gives, most people think they have this problem, but they really have that problem. So for Meg, it might not be, that's one of many different kinds of hooks you could do. It might be for years. Most people think that if they're told they're going to be paralyzed, they will never walk again. But that's not necessarily true. And then you go into your story. So you could think of this is kind of like going off of like the way that I was thinking about an angle for the products using the divergent ad angle I talked about last week. It's the idea of going at it from the opposite angle. People think this, most people think this, but really it's that. And in my case, my product with ClickBank is really to go with my Make Money Online program. It's a product to make money quick by getting an online job where it's a platform where businesses will post their jobs. Most people think if they just take one of these jobs, they'll be able to make X, Y, Z. But not all jobs are legit. There are a lot of scams out there on these kinds of platforms. So, and then I go into my product offer. So you could if you start with something like this, that's can be your hook. The next part is emotion and urgency. Emotion you want to cue into that first. Explain why they're getting the results they're getting, why their ads aren't converting, or why a person who's going through the normal medical treatment for this by treating only symptoms, not treating the real results of your pain, the real root courses. So again, Meg, for your program, you can jump right into, most people think if they pop these drugs, it's going to solve their pain point. But that's not necessarily true. You might have these other conditions that will affect whether you can get the results you want. So just really look at this. It gives examples, and you want to use emotional language, very important. You want to really bring out the pain of the problem and the relief of your solution. Again, the idea is to sell concepts. You're not selling a program. You're selling an idea that can bring them the results that they want. The reason we don't want to sell them all the specifics of the program is people can get lost in the weeds, and we can get stuck teaching. And too much teaching, people don't buy. You're starting to cue into the head and the mind, the thinking, the logical part of the brain. But people make decisions on emotion, not on logic. They'll make the decision first with their emotion, and then they'll logically support their decision later. So you start with the pain, the emotions. This is where everybody's at. When you cue into the pain with your story, Meg, that's exactly what you're doing, is you're bringing out the emotion of what they feel. And then you quickly jump to the relief that they will have with your program. And in your case, you tell your hero story of how you went from this pain to that result, from being told you were paralyzed to now you're able to walk and be out of pain, working this system. You don't have to say what it is, but a system and a framework that you found, a step-by-step process. And that brings down to the next peg, which is the solution that you offer and the benefits. Again, queuing into those benefits. They want to be out of pain. What else do they want? They want happiness. Maybe they're depressed because they feel like life has ended because they have this trauma. Maybe they're feeling like ending it all. They want a sense of hope. You will have a sense of hope because my program is going to give you some options that you don't know are out there. So you're going to have hope. Hope is really huge in somebody working through pain. So this is where you're talking again, the relief of the solution, the solution that they're going to get, the benefits, and that's what you're bringing down, the clear solution to the problem by telling your story and saying that you've developed a program to help them have the same results. Now, again, you can't promise that they're going to get those results, but you can say, I'm going to give you a framework that if you follow, it can lead you toward the process of getting this kind of recovery. Obviously, I can't guarantee what your results will be. And so you want to be careful, with compliance and all that you don't promise the result. You can say, I'm giving you the tools for that result. Results driven. The next part is a strong call to action. And this is where you tell them specifically, step by step, what you want them to do. On this next page, you're going to get an opportunity to opt into my email list and get this free PDF guide that's going to give you 5 things you can do tonight to sleep better, to overcome the night terrors, the trauma you're facing. And that could be your PDF. It's not your whole course. You're just giving one little piece that tonight, fast action, 15 minutes, you can do this. Or in 10 minutes, you can do this before you go to sleep. A meditation technique, for example, that you could do to calm your brain, calm your nerves, and be able to settle yourself so that when you take this, maybe it's a pain cream. Maybe it's some supplement that you're going to learn about in this next video because you're going to use this as a front end to the VSL offer, right? So in this next video, you're going to have my guide for 10 minutes a day before bed, and you are going to use this with this next product. I don't know that you want to use the word product, but this next option for dealing with your pain. So the two go together really well. And you want to do that with your video so that they understand why they're opting in, what they're going to get next. Right below the video is a link to click to watch a video describing how this, maybe you might want to say pain cream. It's kind of, I like to frame what the product is, but not give them too much details. But yeah, maybe you want to tell them it's a pain cream at this point. And so they understand what they're getting and what is the deliverables if they click that button. And also, once you click this button, you will be watching this video. You're going to get a chance. Maybe check the video out. If it has like a special discount code, say you're going to get a code. You might want to watch the video to the end because at the very end, it's going to give you a special code to get the cream at 50% off. I don't know if that offers that, but just check and see. What kind of hook does that VSL have to keep you watching to the end? And what do they offer you at the end that they wouldn't get if they just click out and get the quick script? A lot of people like to do the script, but you might want to get them to watch that. And then at the very end, when you check out, you're going to get, it's going to be about 4 weeks for delivery of that product. But in the meantime, this is where you're going to like this PDF complimentary guide that I've created because I'm going to be giving you some tools right now, maybe some pressure points to go with meditation to help relieve the pain while you're waiting for this special cream. You see how you could do this? So you're going to create an anticipation to check their email at the end of their video. Again, the email's not going to come for 12 hours, so no rush to get this right away, but watch the video. And so you're telling them the step, you're telling them what to expect, what are the deliverables, and you're doing this in your video leading right into your bridge pages text that's going to lead right into your offer. And then social proof and authority. That's what I did on mine. That's where I pulled the ClickBank, the YouTube reviews of the product, and I put that at the bottom of my offer. And what you could do is search further. If maybe you don't find those reviews directly real good for like a screenshot to show, but maybe you'll tell a story of somebody you found on the internet who used, even if it isn't the product you're pushing, they use something very similar. They use a method of, maybe it's your pain point treatments or their meditation, and they were able to block the pain. Whatever story you could tell right at the end to kind of bring that social proof, you can do that as well. And then this is if you're going to do like a challenge or have them meet for something you're going to do, like a launching of your program make, then you would have them remember to mark your calendars. But for our products with ClickBank, it's going to be remember to check your email at the end, after you watch your VSL, because you don't want to miss the guide that's going to give you, help you work towards relief starting even tonight.
Could you actually add into their calendar to next day to check their email?
Yeah, you could do that too.
Okay.
So the idea is scarcity. You don't want to miss this because you're only going to get the discount code if you click on this video, and then you want to, whatever you could do to kind of get that engagement. Oh, and be watching in 12 hours. I'm going to be giving you this product. And in another 6, and ConvertKit lets you set the timing up on all of this. So you could literally have it, maybe
Nice.
mark their phone for 12 hours from now. We'll be delivering you this special gift. And with that email, maybe you'll have another thing, another little tip. So you'll get with that guide, anything that you could build the anticipation to lead right into the next email. And you'll be wanting to check, because in 2 days, or maybe tomorrow, I'm going to send you something else that will go along with this cream. So maybe you could think, maybe it's the pressure points for the first. Maybe it's the meditation technique for the second night. But, I'm going to give you something with music, or maybe, I don't know, just really be creative. What can you add to that value? And you're bringing back with each email sequence, and I would say a 5 to 7 day sequence. People sometimes have to learn about something 7 times before they commit. So the idea is each email that we follow up with has a continual link back to the offer. If you missed the offer that we had on the first day, there may be some still left back in stock. I don't know if you'll have the same pricing guarantee, but if you're still waiting on the fence, you can check the Pain Point Cream with this link. So always pushing back to one offer in every email. It would be that link, the one purchase, and some value that you're going to give in the email sequence follow-up. So there you go. This framework is I think really going to improve the bridge page performance, and a lot more sales coming in, especially as you tie into an email sequence with a PDF lead magnet.
Yeah.
So
Christy, that's great what you did.
Yeah.
Very good.
I'm going to go ahead and make it easy for you guys. I'm going to post this into the chat as well. And for all you guys online, just so I'll show you guys where you can find it. If you're watching this video after the fact and you're like, where is that product framework VSL? Under the marketing strategies. Now, it's a little bit ways down. I had one I'm going to be redoing a little bit. And I have all kinds of stuff I'm building things for. So it's the one that says framework for crafting powerful story ads for your products and services. So click that. And that is going to be where you're going to get the breakdown of each of the points we just went over for your video ad. Now, again, you can let chat do a lot of the hard work, copy and paste this framework, and then below my framework, let me show you that too. I have an actual, the ad itself that was written. I have sections of that ad in the breakdown. So this is an example marketing Facebook ad that I basically got this framework from. And so I basically let it break down each of the points. And so I included in my prompting of chat, I says, okay, here is the summary of the ad as well, of one that was done. Now here's my product. So you give it the VSL and anything that you have to help them chat understand the audience you're speaking to, the pain points, the benefits. And now can you craft a video like that for my offer? And let's see what it does for the scripting. It's been really cool. It gave me not only the breakout of each of these points, but it also told me, okay, on this part of the video, feature this on this part of the program. When you talk about this, feature this person, because I gave him my story. You're going to want to give him your
Was this
story.
with Poe?
I actually did it with the free Chat GPT. And
Oh,
now I
wow.
got Poe today, and I'm like, Poe gives even more options, but I actually built all of this on the free chat.
Wow.
But how did I get all of these little pieces? What I do I dare tell you my secret? So I'm pulling ads when I hear them and I record them.
Yeah.
So I'm actually getting stuff that's not on the internet free. I'm just, oh, good ad. Get it recording right away. And then I script it out. Then I tell chat to break the frameworks out. That's my little secret. I almost afraid to put that on video. But that's how I'm getting such good breakout for these ads. And this particular one this was built on, the guy advertised he had 3,000 opt-ins to his monthly reoccurring program as a result of this one ad. 3,000 people opted in and paid monthly for his program, all because of the ad. So that tells you, I'm like, it's converting well. He's got the metrics. And so what did he do? What's his framework? And I use chat to extrapolate that out. So
Right. So you got his script.
yes, I got the script. You know how it pops up on Facebook and you don't know when it's going to, because I searched stuff online, but this was something I kind of like, I heard it and I'm like, oh, that's good. And I started recording right away. And then
Cool.
I tailored my own story to go with this kind of framework. So I could say, chat, now I would like you to build me a framework. And that's literally what I'm doing with my hydroponics and my gardening stuff right now. Based off of this, it broke everything out, told me how to film this part. Now this part of the ad, you want to film that. So I'm using AI for some of the images just because it's winter and I don't have gardens out right now. It's saying get this, but I have a lot of videos of my gardens. So I'm going to play with chat's images along with my own to make what I believe to be a highly converting ad video. So from this framework.
Christy, did you ever look at Juice Plus, their grow garden?
Yeah, it's good. And that's how they do
Oh,
the reoccurring model. Yep.
yeah. I used to have one.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's their program or it's one very similar that gives you, if you pay monthly, they give you actual pods and things to grow every
Yeah,
month.
that's cool.
Yeah.
I loved it, but I had to downsize. So anywho, okay, ladies, sorry, I gotta run.
Okay.
But that's really good, the framework. You got me all tweaking on what I'm gonna do tomorrow.
Well, before you go, because you wanted to see my page real quick,
Yes.
jump to it. I haven't done the video. Like I said, I just got the framework. I played with it, got the script
Good.
out.
I like your title.
Yeah.
Good call, Christy.
Yeah, well,
Right
you
to
helped
it.
me with that, but look at this. So I have the title right there, and I like what you said about that. And then I tightened my avatar to someone like me. I may end up just putting myself in there because my video is probably going to have my story, so we'll see. But what I did is I took an avatar that I actually created from somebody I met who lost her husband during COVID. The difference with her story and my story is I have my ex. He's still alive in court ordered to pay alimony, child support. So I've got some support. This poor lady that I met, and this is actually not her name, but her story is true. She was literally working at a gas station, living in a trailer that the gas station owner let her live in. She was kind of staying some nights there, some in a hotel. And because you can't stay in a hotel in a trailer that's parked in a business parking lot, you can't do it all the time. But her real story is in here of what she was having to do because she lost her husband to myocarditis or whatever after he took the vaccine.
Yep.
Completely
Oh
killed
yeah.
him.
I lost two friends, same thing.
Yeah, and I have another friend whose dad was in remission on cancer. Of course, it did away with his immune system, so he died of cancer 1 month after his second dose.
Yeah, yeah, it's all coming back. Anyone that had cancer, they get vaccinated. It's a reoccurring theme. It's so
Yeah.
sad.
It
So
Not
sad.
me, not me. I fought the system. I didn't get it.
well, I got COVID, so I was like, "Hey, I'm good. I got better immunity than you guys can get with the vax." But anyway, the
Oh,
but this was her story, and so the only thing is I didn't have this platform at the time, so I can't tell her real results because I met her at a gas station. getting gas. So I didn't actually I have no way of contacting her again other than to try to catch her when she's working there, and her work hours are all over the
Are
map.
you doing this in a VSL? This right here, what we're
No,
reading?
I'm going to tell my story in the VSL, but
You
this is,
should. This would be, a lot of people would be like, yeah, that's me. That's
well,
me.
I'm going to tell that I met this lady at a gas station. So what you're going to read below is a story of someone very similar to the gal that I met. Because I can't say it's the same gal, even though I scripted this off of my own talking with her and what she went through. The only difference is she didn't have the platform to be able to get a job real quick and to get.
Not only that, sorry, Christy, I was actually reading this. Suddenly she found herself unemployed, drowning in bills. There's no mention of the loss of a husband.
Oh, did I? I thought I put
She's
that in.
grieving.
She lost her husband due to, okay, I'll have to add that to this part too.
Suddenly, yeah, put something like, and something about devastation, grieving.
Yeah. I think, oh yeah, okay. Good point. Good catch. Because I was trying to do that. I got it up here, like in the midst of grief.
Oh, this poor lady, I don't even know her, and my heart's just
Well, and in my
breaking.
video, I can tell about meeting her and wishing I had this platform at the time to offer her because she could have made more money than she can make working for a gas station. But I didn't know, and I don't have a way of reaching her. But I'm going to use that at the beginning. And then I've since found people online who have had success. So why don't you go ahead and read below? They can read the stories of success. And so there you go. So I kind of I
Love it.
figured I'm going to tie it together that way. You can imagine you need money right now. You don't have a budget problem, you have an income problem. Here's a solution for that. So, and there we go. And this is the companion guide. There's lots of good platforms out there. This is just one of many. This is one that I found. I'm encouraging you to get this avoiding a scam, because if you understand these things, you can use it on any platform to be able to test the validity of the jobs. Now, here's my image. And of course, Hero Shot images. I'll be testing other images, but this is one I made to get attention and get them to actually click to the video.
Yeah, we can all relate to that.
Yep. And then here was another one. Here again, I tell people enter your email below, grab the free guide, and then watch the video. And in my video, I can talk about if you go and watch the video, it's going to take you off this page. You won't be able to get the free guide on another page. So make sure you click the enter your email for the free guide before you leave this page. And I can give them those warnings. Again, it's scarcity. I'm telling them the steps, and I'm avoiding losing this contact by somebody clicking before they opt in. And then you go down here, and I have Jim Roberts, another person, and how he found success. And then watch the video below. And then here, this is the bullet points. I haven't changed this out. I'm going to go back to chat and have chat break out what are the benefits based on the VSL and have it break it out. So it'll help me script this last little part. But I love the breakout layout. And again, it's steps. So I'm going to try to make sure it's carrying the steps of the process of what they have to do to get here. And then and it's working. Reviews keep coming in. These are actual legitimate reviews I pulled from YouTube. And if you look closely, it also mentions different platforms to find jobs like this. I'm not going to tell people that part, but they can discover it on their own reading the reviews of other things that people are doing to find these kinds of jobs where they can get paid quickly in the time they have after work hours, or if you want a full-time job replacement, there's a lot of people getting that. So yeah, so that was my
Cool.
page. So
Very good. That's cool.
yeah.
I am crashing, so I'm
Yeah,
gonna.
I gotta run, ladies. Good seeing y'all.
All
All the
right,
ladies.
sounds good. Well, now you got some tools. Use my stuff that I put together. Let's see what you guys can crank out with
Well,
your-
yeah, I'm gonna take you a little framework that you shared with us, and I'm gonna copy it, and I'm gonna prompt my chat with.
Yep.
I'm literally gonna explain. This is the business. This da 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 da.
help your story.
Yeah,
Good.
and I'm gonna see what it pumps out. I'll be like, thanks, Christy.
I think you're gonna love it. I
Woohoo.
was thoroughly impressed with it. Like it's
Okay.
unlike
I
anything
think,
I've tried
and
before.
then I think I might test Poe tomorrow. I'm gonna see what all the hypey hype is in the room here. Do you guys, is there affiliate links you want to share with me?
I don't have an affiliate link, but let me show Poe real quick. I can do a quick Would you? Well, actually, no, I'll just let you got you.
Yeah,
two
no,
go.
I gotta run.
Yeah.
Anyway, good
When you go
seeing
into
you.
Poe, use the other one, not chat. Oh, what's it? Claude. You'll probably even get a better even format.
Okay, I'll look
Cool.
into it.
Try them
Anyway,
both. Try them
good
both.
seeing you. Meg,
I know
feel
it's good for
better.
headlines. And
I'm
we
like,
have a free version of Poe too. So try the free version. I believe they give you
Okay,
like a free trial or something.
cool. Yeah,
So you
I'll
could check it
test it.
out.
I love AI. Love AI. Love,
Oh yeah.
love.
It's
oh,
so cool.
okay.
Okay,
Awesome.
bye, you guys. Thanks.
Bye, Meg.
Thank
Thanks for joining
you.
us. We'll
Bye.
see you next week. All
Bye.
right. Cool. Well, you're getting tired, Meg. Do we want to? Oh, you heading out too? Are
Oh,
you?
I'm not going anywhere unless you are.
All right. Well,
Or
that was the bulk of what I wanted to share. What I've been working on is framework stuff. I didn't know if Meg wanted to try some of that tonight, or you're gonna want to try it tomorrow. Because now you know where the framework is, and you can
Yeah.
grab that.
I'm like crashing. I
Yeah,
am like literally
yeah. Let's do
breaking
that.
out in sweat.
And last time we did that product breakout, but honestly, you're scrapping it anyway because the kids aren't good. But we did the other one for your program before.
Yeah, I have
So
it all set up. I mean, I have it. It's just, oh my gosh, it was like, okay, that was not good.
So I would
So,
copy like the deliverables because they asked a lot of questions, copy that together and then use my framework and see what it gives you and just play with chat. You can't break it. See what it comes up
mhm,
with and then throw it into AI. Use NVIDIA AI. They have a free version to try and just see if it's going to help you. Maybe part of it you record, some of it you just let AI do, you know? You can always
mhm,
do your own audio if you want versus what they provide. And then Syllabi, the other one is the other video one that you can try out. So Syllabi AI, Syllaby, Syllaby, kind of like syllable, syllabi.ai.
syllabi. Okay.
So that one's another good one. Some of my friends really like that. So see if you can't get something up and running, and then you can put that on your page. You saw how I broke my page out. You can watch the video again if too tired.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah.
Sounds good. Have a good night. I know you got to leave early in the morning, so I will let you go, but thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
night,
Bye.
Meg.
good.
Night.